We are not given the free will to make decisions on our own mineral resources. There's always Big Brother who decides. And when you fight and say, no, we are not going to do this, they use the system to stop you.
Most Africans have been curious about the reason behind why many African countries just give their mineral resources to Western countries just for a peanut. We have been asking this question for years, and it seems we have started getting answers. I want us to watch this video of a Sierra Leone First Lady exposing the reason behind why this is happening in Africa. I will be back.
The kind of mineral resources we have in our country is enough to take care of everybody in that country. We should not have a single poor person in Sierra Leone. But unfortunately, we are not given the free will to make decisions on our own mineral resources. There's always Big Brother who decides. And when you fight and say, no, we are not going to do this, they use the system to stop you. It's either they set you up with the opposition and they'll be supporting the opposition against you from the back, or they cause unnecessary chaos in your country so that you are not able to even govern your own people. They will do things to make you not to be functionable. And of course, any country that don't have peace cannot develop. You have to have peace before you talk about development. I'll give you a simple example about Sierra Leone. Every mining company that is in Sierra Leone today is owned by a foreigner. Every mining company. If it's not the Chinese, it's the American, it's the British. Our electricity, Bumuda, is run by the British, and we still don't have light. We're looking for light, electricity. If you don't have electricity, how can you talk about education? How can you talk about health facility? How can you talk about improving the infrastructure of your country? We don't have electricity. Now, do we actually even have proper water, pipe-borne water, so that our kids will not be sick? We don't have those facilities. Why? With all the minerals we have, there is a cap you put. Before my husband became the president of Sierra Leone was benefiting, they said, what's the word? 0.000.1%. What is that? Basically, a company can take as much as $100 million out of the country in terms of minerals, and then they can just give the country $10,000. Now, what will $10,000 do for our health system? What is $10,000 do for our educational system? And these are the things I believe that are stopping Africa from progressing. We don't have a say. The sense about us celebrating independence, I don't know why we celebrate independence, because we are not free. That is my own take. I'm not speaking also on behalf of the government of Sierra Leone, nor am I speaking on behalf of His Excellency the President. I am speaking as Fatima, as a citizen of a country who believes that things need to change.
I join you in that sense. I'm Jesse, I'm a person. Fatima is a person. We agree. I see you. I value your perspective, and I want to find a way forward. Right? Neither of us likes the status quo.
No.
We see women and girls being oppressed. We see patriarchy stronger than ever. And we see colonial forces that persist without accountability. So it's one part to elucidate the problems that come from that. The many sequelae of extraction include inadequate remaining resources to develop as a state, to do all the things that people want to do for themselves. Provide education, provide health care. So I wonder, as we think just as two citizens of the world committed to a better humanity, where do we go from here? Do you have any practical ideas about where we might start? Or collective ideas that we might gain support for?
I feel Africa, patriotism is very important. You have to love your country to want your country to be a better place. Patriotism. I think we have to have that sense of patriotism in our countries, and our leaders also should be subjected to that. You know, it is not only when you were talking about election and then everybody come out and celebrate, and after election, that's it. Accountability. Who accounts for what is happening? Who is the one who is changing the narrative of what is happening? Like I said, as a First Lady, I am not part of a government system. I am a wife of a president. So when I speak on behalf of the people, because I understand what the people are going through. At the end of the day, I'm not being paid salary, and I cannot be fired either. So that's the advantage. That's the advantage of being a First Lady. But I believe that for Africa, what is happening in Africa today, it needs to change, and it needs to change now. There is no time like now, because for Sierra Leone, we now have a president who believe that we cannot wait for other people to come and develop us. We cannot wait for another country to come and prescribe how our country should be run or what we need in our country. You know, this divide and rule, if you're close to China, we will not come to your country. If you're close to America, we will not come to your country. I mean, the fight that is between England, Europe, America, China, Russia is not a Sierra Leone fight. That's not our problem. We're fighting for our daily bread. We're looking to have education, just like America. We're looking to have good health facility, just like Europe. We're looking to have governance structure where one single person cannot be the dictator of a nation. That's what we're looking for. And in that process, we're going to be allies to everybody who wants us to grow. But if we now align ourselves with someone, and then this other person now feel offended that, oh, you know, I'm coming from China now. I flew in, I've gone around the world to get to Boston, you know. I went to China and then come here. Before here, I went to England and then flew into America. For me, I'm not restricted where I should go or who I should be talking to. I am going around the world to see a country that sees Africa not as not just as an ally of what you'll be getting from us, but a country that sees Sierra Leone as partners and treat us with respect. You cannot be coming to our country and take everything that will make us develop, and then you still treat us as inferior people, as if we don't know what we're doing. I think that is wrong. You know, we're looking for partners that value us. People that will come to our country and say, you know what, this country has suffered enough, they need to grow. We were once the atom of Africa. Every country within sub-Saharan Africa used to come to Sierra Leone for our education. And today, what can we be proud of? We cannot talk about education in Sierra Leone because they've ruined that for us. Everything that has empowered Sierra Leone has been ruined. And now we have a leader who wants to fix everything. There is a problem. In Africa, you should not have a leader that is assertive, a leader that knows what his people want, a leader that wants to change what is happening. The moment you have that, it's everyone's target. And then they find reason to slow you down, they find reason to stop you, and they use that system of corruption. They use corrupt people, they use negative people, they use unpatriotic citizens to come after a government who is doing what is right for a system. I think we need to address those issues. Unfortunately, I don't know I'm very good at name calling, but at the moment, I don't know who I should be screaming at.
We have been saying this for years. This is not the first time we are hearing from an African leader exposing what exactly is happening in Africa concerning our mineral resources. It's very sad the way things are, and we also call ourselves an independent country. That is why we are always saying that the independence which was given to Africa was just a smokescreen. How can you take a country's resources, you make a revenue of 100 million US dollars and just give the country 10,000 US dollars? That is wickedness. And as she also said, she said, if you try to fight for the system, what they will do is they will start sponsoring your opposition party to make sure that you do not succeed. And that is something I have always been asking, if the leaders, most African leaders, can be open and tell their citizens of what exactly is happening. Why can't we use our natural resources to develop our country? Why are we always depending on foreign aid? Because we pay tax like any other country. We also have abundant natural resources. And what we have also realized is we have also decided not to refine none of our resources in our country. This thing is not only happening in Sierra Leone. Some is happening in Ghana, some is happening in Nigeria, some is happening in Kenya. Many African countries are going through a lot. They threaten you, and the sad thing is they have come and opened their military bases in most of these African countries. So small conflict, or when something small happens, they start threatening you with military. Now they can fuel your opposition to make sure that they make the country ungovernable. That is what normally happens. So it's about time, I think, African political parties or African people who meant well for African. The woman also stated patriotism. So people who meant well for Africa, whether you are in opposition or you are in government, you have to come together and make things happen. Because if we are always going to be a competitors or a protagonist to each other, then the country will never be developed, because they make sure they pollute you or they fool you to come to power. And when you come to power, you become their puppets. And if you become their puppet, you know that you can never develop that country, because all your resources will be taken away. All your mineral resources will be taken away. And you are going to be in deep trouble than even the one you came to replace. So African political parties has to come together and be patriotic, because the word is patriotic. We have to be patriotic. We don't always have to think about our pocket first. Let's think about the country first. Because what is happening across Africa is very strange. Until we put our feet on the ground, we are always going to be a continent of complainers, a continent of talkatives without any development. Please, you can go to my description box and click on the Telegram link. It will take you to my Telegram platform. You can join us for us to talk about the well-being of Africa. If today is also your first time coming to this channel, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button so that anytime I upload any great content, you will be notified. Thanks for watching.